Woo! How's it going, people? Oh my goodness, people. So it's been a long day. Uh it's been a very long day. Uh we're going to go over a couple of the things that happened post hearing. And we're going to talk a little bit about the hearing too. And this is just, I I wanted to go live for a couple of reasons, just because there was stuff that I still wanted to talk about. I also want to go over and react to Microdot's new video. I have not watched it yet. So I know a lot of you guys like to see my reactions. So I'm going to do a reaction to Microdot's latest video. So if you follow me on Twitter, then you would have seen my post. Basically suggesting that you guys watch it first, because if it's going to bother you that I'm going to pause and comment and things of that nature, because I'm going to do that, then this stream is not going to be for you. But the and outside of the court, outside of the courthouse. So Turtle Boy was inside of the courtroom for Karen Reed's hearing today, for the motions hearing. And Turtle Boy saw a couple of people in blue shirts, and I want to emphasize the statement "couple of people." It was maybe three, and we're gonna go over his interview. One of those people is Kim Fair. And honestly, I'm not going to spend that much time on that. I just made the thumbnail and titled it simply because I just wanted to hang out with you guys a little bit longer. If I'm being completely honest, I'm really, really tired. And I want to go to sleep. Because I of course, my usual day I go to the gym, but I also streamed this morning. And so after the gym, I got home and took a hot shower, and it's like, oh God, I just want to crawl in bed. But if I go to sleep now, then I'll wake up in the middle of the night. So I figured I'd kind of hang out with you guys, and hopefully I could stay up for just a little while longer, and anybody who's interested in hanging out with me can. So yeah, a couple of those things. Before I get into anything here, though, something caught my attention on Twitter, and I mean, everyone's talking about this Hank Brennan dude. Not very impressive, was he? Okay. All right. I have to bookmark that because that's really funny. Because I'm gonna come back to that. Okay, let me see here. So Mark Bederow posted something kind of ominous, but pretty direct at the same time. And he posted this only just a little over an hour ago. And he says, all of you who know what you did to an innocent victim, your day of reckoning is coming soon. This is a quote. This is Mark Bederow's most recent tweet. And he said, this has nothing to do with Massachusetts. This has to do with holding the most powerful accountable for their criminal acts against vulnerable, decent people. Contrary to what the brains that guide trolls can comprehend, I multitask. Nothing to do with Massachusetts. The consequences will be federal and international. Boston Mike said, somebody pissed in Bunk's Cheerios. Bederow says, nobody pissed in my Cheerios. Abusers of an innocent and wonderful person are going to pay, no matter how powerful they perceive themselves. I will dedicate my professional life to make sure this happens, and it will happen. So nothing to do with the Karen Reed case. So there's that. And let me see here. This bro, like, I mean, dude.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is
Jesus, dude. I mean, so this lady, dude, like, it's like I knew it, bro. I knew it. I was like, no way. There's no way that this lady really looks like that, bro. There's no way. Nobody, okay, dude, nobody who's actually that pretty is that bitter and shitty. You know what I mean? So I knew that was like catfishy as fuck, right? You know, because I would always, you know, I maybe I never said it out loud, but you know, I was like, man, you know, she's pretty. But I was like, no, those, I mean, there's clearly filters there. It's just a question of like how much of those filters go into work. You know, how hard are those filters working? You know what I mean? So like, I mean, and I don't normally take a whole lot of jabs at somebody's personal appearance, but let's just be honest here. This is a very nasty person. I mean, a very, very nasty person. If you've seen her on Twitter, she is one of the worst people you'll ever see tweet anything ever. So so Turtle Boy runs into her outside of the courthouse, and wait, why is this not? Hold on, let me get my sound together, guys.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
There we go.
So where's the crowd today? Where's all the blue people?
I don't know.
Really? How are you?
So, like classic Turtle Boy, right? What does he do? He rolls up on these, he walks out of the courthouse, sees a shit ton of pink shirts, and then looks around and then sees two fucking blue shirts, and is like, and he's like, oh, I gotta ask. I gotta ask. It's my job. This is what I do. I gotta find out why, where's all of the support for Officer John O'Keefe? I mean, they're all for John O'Keefe, right? And justice for John O'Keefe, right? Because here's the thing: is these pink shirt people, they're out there all the time. Every single hearing, dude. There's a handful of these people that are consistently out there and never miss a standout. They never miss a court hearing. They are there every time. And you know why that is? Because they genuinely believe in something. When you genuinely believe in something, it's like what they say. It's like what they say when it comes to like exercise, right? They say if it's important to you, and it doesn't just apply to exercise, it applies to everything. They'll say, oh my God. There we go. It'll say if it's you'll find a way. If it's not important to you, you'll find an excuse. Wise words, right? I've seen people since I've started following this case, people who have been in my chat since the very, very beginning because they were that dedicated. Oh, there's a new guy talking about Karen Reed and John O'Keefe. There's a new guy doing it. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, he's open to trying to understand it because he doesn't understand it yet. Let's help him through the chat. That's how this started off with me. And those people are consistently out there all the time. All the time. So that's because they truly believe in what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing. They always find a way to be out there to support. Because I guarantee you, if you ask Kate Peter, well, Kate Peter actually has a good excuse. She has a restraining order against her. So she has a good excuse. But what's Plevin's excuse? I mean, he's local, isn't he? Where are the rest of these people? Where's Jules? Where's what happened? Because it was a small group to begin with, and now it's shrunk even smaller. That's what you're trying to tell me here, Kim Fair? I mean, kudos to her for being out there at least.
How are you feeling about the election results?
I'm excited.
You are? You're excited to
Yes,
live in Trump's
Trump
America?
couldn't be more
That's
thrilled.
great. Hello, sir. What's your name?
You didn't have to sign it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we know each other.
Oh.
You're
I'm excited.
You are? You're excited to
Yes,
live in Trump's
Trump
America?
couldn't be more thrilled.
That's great. Hello, sir. What's your name?
You didn't have to sign it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we know each other.
Oh.
You're Kimberly Fair, correct?
I am.
Okay, so Kim, why did you suddenly take an interest in this case?
Fucking. So I guess when you meet Kimberly Fair, she comes with a mute Oompa Loompa. Awesome. Good to know.
Because I think Karen.
Right. So does that have anything to do with the fact that I wrote about you 3 years ago?
No,
So it has
doesn't have
nothing. That's just a coincidence.
to- I love you.
Remind me what that story was about.
I
don't
mean,
remember. Spence-
I'll give her credit. So far, she's playing it off pretty well. Now, I only caught this far of it. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to go over this when I go live. Because now everything moving forward is going to be a reaction to this. Okay.
It's been so long.
So you were working in the public schools, correct?
Yes.
And do you still work there?
I'm not working right now because I am home taking care of my son, who is
So you-
special needs.
Okay, so you're unemployed?
I work.
See, this is why I love Turtle Boy. This is why I love Turtle Boy, because it's the exact same thing. So you're unemployed then, right? It's like the first thing that comes to mind. Like he said it as I. So you're unemployed, right? Got it.
For who?
I work at her. I work at home for who?
I get paid to take care of my son.
Okay.
Oh my God, dude. Really? Really? Okay. Now everything is solidified. Everything that I ever thought about this lady has just been fucking solidified. Like, this is someone who fucking lives off of your tax dollars to sit around, fuck around, and talk shit about people, lie about people, dox people. This is you people, you guys are paying her to do this because she found a way to get paid to be a mother. Amazing. Now, this pisses me off. Normally I don't talk about shit like this because people's personal business is their personal business, but she's the one putting it out there. And she's telling Turtle Boy, of all fucking people, on camera. He's got a fucking phone shoved in her face, and she's fucking telling the whole world that she mooches off of government welfare to be a mother. Because here's how these things work. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's on the up and up. I don't know what the issues are with her son. I'm not going to speculate. All I'm going to say here is I know someone, and that's as much as I'm going to tell you about them as far as who they are, is I know someone who is one of the most reprehensible people I've ever had to deal with in my entire life, who got a job working for the county who determines who gets benefits and if they qualify for benefits. Okay? Then this person quit that job, and then decided to find every possible loophole that this person could to be able to collect these benefits because she knew the loopholes because she did it for a job. And then she decided, why am I working? Why am I working when I can just do this? And I watched this person in real time go through these motions, right? I saw it happen. And this is somebody who I knew very well. So I was like, this person is absolutely, completely full of shit. And so when I hear this person, who I've seen behave the way that she does, say that, I know everything about her that I need to know. This is an absolutely entitled succubus on society, is what this person right here is. 100%, in my personal opinion. That is my opinion. A succubus on society. Contributes absolutely nothing productive to the world at all. Does nothing but suck from it. Like, she literally, people.
Boo, you suck.
Literally sucks.
So the government pays you.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So you suddenly took an interest in this story after I started writing about it, correct?
I started hearing about this story actually before you started writing about it. Before you started.
Turtle Boy he's not so subtly basically cornering her into admitting that the reason why she's even following this case and going the route that she's going is because of her issues with him, which is fucking everybody. Yellow Truth Seeker, member Yellow the Truth Seeker member for 8 months. Thank you so much. She looks like she's been hitting the bottle with Bev. Oh my God, dude.
You started grifting off of it. Yeah.
But you didn't take an interest in it.
No, I didn't take an interest.
You weren't out here supporting John O'Keefe or anything like that.
So now I'm out here. Do you think I would stand out?
The psychology here that Turtle Boy is using is fantastic. It's brilliant. And it's really not that complicated. It's very easy with people like this, but Turtle Boy is on it. You know what I mean? Because what he knows what he's doing here is he's calling her out. This is why it's easy, because the things that he's calling out are true, right? So, okay. So you're unemployed. Okay. So you collect from the government. Okay. Right. So that right there put her mind in a position to where she had to face the fact that the person she hates the most is calling her out on her bullshit, on being a fucking mooch without having to call her a fucking mooch. He didn't even have to do it. He made her ask herself in her mind if she was a mooch, and the answer turned out to be yes, and this triggered her emotions right here. This is why the demeanor changes as drastically as it does right here.
Out here freezing just because I don't like you.
Where?
No.
Oh, I absolutely believe that.
No.
So you did.
You're not
So
worth
you're.
that much to me.
So
You're
you're.
really not. You're not worth it.
So you suddenly decided to take an interest in this case after I did, and you've been obsessed with me for several years.
I'm not obsessed with you because
You post about me a
you're
lot,
actually one
don't
of the
you?
most disgusting people I've ever met.
Have you seen the people that you hang out?
They're really nice people.
You think
Wait,
Krusty,
Are they?
Krusty Panties is a nice
Have you
person?
seen the people you hang out with?
Well,
What trailer did they all come out?
how many of Krusty?
Wow. Okay. Like, listen, I'm not anybody. I understand. I'm a self-aware person. I spent the majority of my adult life engaged in very bad self-destructive behavior, which took a toll on my teeth. It's true. But I'm not sensitive about it. But I'm not unrealistic to where I'm going to start calling people out on these things like teeth, because I'm not seeing any in her face. So she's talking about people's status in life. What trailer did they come out of? Very judgmental about people's social status, people's class. And she's nobody to be doing that, because A, she lives off of the government. B, she's standing out there without a goddamn fucking productive bone in her body, not making any type of difference whatsoever except to troll. She is just a troll. And the reason why she's just a troll is because A, she's completely self-oblivious. Clearly, completely self-oblivious. B, very judgmental while being self-oblivious. You know what I mean? So this is not somebody who has any room to criticize anyone on how they live their life. And all I see before she blocked me, all I saw on her Twitter was her judging people by their class, like making nasty snide comments about people's incomes and how they were brought up and things of that nature. Very disgusting, nasty things too. And I'm looking at this person who just started off this interview because Turtle Boy was that surgical in how he approached this. He started asking the right questions. He set it up. He wanted to give the person who's watching the interview the experience of who this person is once he starts asking her the real questions. So now you've got an idea of what she does. It's very much like Jackson and Yannetti did. They would destroy character, basically establish the person on the stand, a McAlbert, as a liar, and then start asking the real questions. This is what Turtle Boy just did with her. It was really funny.
Krusty's kids does she have left over? You know?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Her name is Catherine Peter.
I don't
She
know who you're
lost two of her
talking-
kids due to
don't
years
know
of
who you're
neglect.
talking about.
Do you support child abuse or just when Kate Peter does it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, she abused and neglected her kids and lost them to the state. Do you support that?
Oh, and what about your kids? You're an embarrassment to your children.
But I haven't lost them to the state.
What
She
are you
has
what are
due
you
to
gonna
years
do
of
when you go
neglect.
to prison with your 19
Oh, I'm not going to prison.
you
It's okay.
are.
You think so?
You have another case coming up that you're not even aware of.
Oh, what's
yet.
that?
You'll find out.
Oh, sounds scary. How
You'll
would you
find out in January.
Oh, I'll find out.
Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Very interesting. So, new case coming up, and he'll find out in January. Now, that's interesting because I don't know. I mean, this lady talks out of her ass, but so I don't really know if there's any truth to this, but let's pretend that there is for a second, right? Let's pretend that there is for a second. Meredith is saying, I was proud at how polite he stayed even when she started saying stuff about his kids and that he's going to jail. Yeah, Turtle Boy, I got to give him credit. Turtle Boy, as this progresses, he's getting better and better. You know, like he's learning. It's like he's you know, I'm getting good at this shit. Like that kid in Deadpool 2. Like the more he does this, it's just seems easier and easier to read these people right off the bat and approach them properly, you know. And I'm not saying that there was anything wrong with what he was doing before. What I'm saying is he's just improved since what he was doing before, because there's more and more and more of this shit. Because I don't think this has ever happened, that he's actually walked up to Kim Fair and interviewed her like this. And we're talking about, I've been watching a year of this lady just shit talk all over Twitter until she blocked me. So yeah, I agree with you. So far, he's like totally keeping his composure. Like, I mean, dude, when he put Meredith, when Sam Nagel was touching you, I was like, dude, Turtle Boy is the epitome of self-control right there. Like, this is a professional. These are the things that you have to be able to, like, these are the things that make Aiden Carney. These are the things that separate being a blogger from being a award-winning journalist. Professional behavior like that. Professional behavior, the ability to maintain self-control and stay focused and stay on task and document what's going on and comment on it accordingly. Ask the right questions. Make sure the other person is the one who is emotionally triggered. And he's just getting better at it. It's crazy. Thank you so much, Bostonian Now. Why aren't the taxpayers in Massachusetts pissed off? We have 11 district attorneys and 785 assistant district attorneys, 796 attorneys, and they are paying for Whitey's lawyer to take over. Fire them all, useless fucks. I have to absolutely agree with that super chat. That's got to be the best super chat I've got in a long time. It was very eloquently worded. Really well. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. You're a wordsmith, Bostonian Now. Thank you so much. And then, where is that? Lois Lane gifted 10 memberships, y'all. All right. Yeah, this is just fun. This is just fantastic.
Out in January. So what's going to happen? So is there a grand jury? Is that what you're saying? Why wait till January?
Oh, what I was going to say is I'm glad he asked that, because what I was going to say about January, let's pretend that this is true. Robin G gifted 5 memberships. Oh my goodness. Let's say that this is true, right? Let's say that what she's talking about is true. Let's say she has that comes from actually a reliable source. Mrs. Claire gifted 5 memberships. Oh my god. So let's just say that's true. Why would the timing be there? What would be the charge? What would be the charge? Right? What's Turtle Boy saying here? Jill Daniels taught me how to keep my cool. Just let them do what they do best and make fools of themselves. Yeah. It's like you treat it like you've just got a front row seat to the shit. That's what's fun about it. That's what's fun about it. Like when you watch like that footage of Jill Daniels and Jim Ferris assaulting you, it's like you treat it like you got a front row seat at that shit. It's fun. It's funny as shit. So this, I have to wonder what the charge would be, right? If this could be, I have no idea, right? What are they going to charge him with? But I wonder if it's happening in January, like why January? That's very random, like and pretty precise, to have like, on that month, you're going to have new charges. What? Poor thing probably peaked in high school. Insert Titanic meme. It's been 84 years. It's been 84 years. Shelby says what? Thank you so much. Hey, Will, when you coming on Seeking Justice? Inquiring Minds. Yes, I'm gonna get with one of you guys to talk about that. And yeah, I'm down to do that. I'm hoping to do like a hearing with you guys. Like I'll just like blow off streaming one and then I'll just like jump on your alls and stream it and stream with you guys on one of these hearings coming up. We'll just work it out. Depends on which one it is. Dewey, thank you so much. Coming in late, any talk about CPU? That's what I was just saying. And yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Like Tom had a bad day, dude. Like I'm only laughing about it because he's okay, but and of course, like it's yeah, I mean, I'm only laughing about it because he's okay. I mean, because it does make me mad. It makes me mad. And it made me mad to see Boston Mike and how mad he was. Like seeing Boston Mike and how mad he was making me mad. You know what I mean? Because like that's just fucked up. Jim Ferris is just a bully, like a piece of shit. Like the way that he came up like a sociopath, dude. You know what he's like? He's like a fucking goon in a movie. Like Chris Albert would be the boss, and he's got a fucking goon. That's just always doing stupid, dirty shit. Like from some fucking 80s movie. Like Jaws and James Bond, or some shit. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. This Jim Ferris guy is a fucking goon, dude. Like he just rolls up on Turtle Boy and fucking smacks his phone out of his hand, smoking a fucking parliament. Shirt's all dirty. Turtle Boy's telling him, dude, you fucking smell just how you look, dude. Like, this shit is fucking gross, bro. And he delivers food like that, man. He delivers food like that. And Chris Albert's just okay with it. That tells me so much about Chris Albert. You know what I mean? Dewey, thank you so much. Goes to show they are used to no consequences. Right. Yeah, the guy next to Joe Flip ahead. The guy next to her, dude, is this guy's killing me.
You'll find out.
So just to remind me, that article I wrote about
that's what I was getting at. Is in January. What's going to happen in January? If I had to speculate, I'd say it has something to do with Karen Reed, right? So what are they going to do? Try the new collusion? Try that again? Because they tried that before. But is that what they're going to try to do? Because the timing is interesting. January, isn't that when the trial starts? You know what I mean? Like, I don't subscribe to coincidence, folks. But at the same time, that's just assuming that she's not talking out of her ass. So, who knows? Colleen Elizabeth, thank you. Welcome to Logic.
In 2021, do you remember exactly what you did?
No. You want to remind me?
I believe you were making inappropriate comments about parents of the school that you were teaching at.
No. The comments I made was I just wanted people to wear masks.
Right, but you were saying negative things about Trump supporters, correct?
My words. What you said was that I don't care about kids that are depressed or anything like. But what I said was, if we don't go to.
So is she a fucking? She's a mask. She's a Karen. She's a Karen masker. A masker Karen. Is that what she is? I'm pretty sure she is. She's one of those. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah. This woman is terrible, bro.
To school and wear masks, we're not going to be able to stay in school, and then your kids are going to be depressed because they're home.
So you're a mask
you
person.
Twisted it. You gaslight. Just
so
like
why did you lose
article.
your job then?
And guess what?
Why'd you lose your job?
I didn't lose my job.
But you don't work there anymore.
I resigned and I got a payout.
Oh, you got a payout. How much did they pay you
nice
out?
fat check. You didn't know that?
Really? That's interesting. So you did lose your job.
No, I resigned. They gave me a glowing recommendation.
And so it's been 3 years now.
And you
still haven't got a job.
No, I actually have been working.
She's a fucking teacher, dude. Like,
oh.
I mean, I'll tell you what though. Like, if she's a teacher, your taxes are paying for her paycheck, right? So I'm going to look at it this way. There's blessings in everything, right? I'm sitting here and I'm talking shit about her. Now, that doesn't change the fact that she's a lazy asshole. That doesn't change the fact at all that she's just a lazy asshole with nothing better to do with her time, and actually has found a way to make time in her life so she could sit on Twitter and be an asshole. You know what I mean? So that is no different, but the blessing that I'm going to find in this, that I'm going to point out, Amy in Boston, thank you so much. She wanted mandated masks to cover that mouth. Ew. Yeah. And thank you so much, Rich Schiffer. What's up, buddy? Watching these idiots is like watching a bad take of a sitcom of The Sopranos. Yeah, man. Free Rich Schiffer, y'all. Rich Schiffer, everybody. You got to give him. Now, free Karen Reed 2024. Thank you so much. I wouldn't spend another second decoding the January talk. Look at the source. She doesn't like. That's what I'm saying. She's probably talking out of her ass. I'm just saying. I that's why I started that scenario with assuming hypothetically that it's true, but it does not mean in the slightest bit that I believe it to be true. I'm just trying to make sense of it if it were true. But I wouldn't spend. She doesn't look like she'll even make it to January. Oh my God, y'all are funny. Yeah, dude, she's yeah. It's funny that here's the blessing that I was talking about. The blessing that I'm referring to is I'd rather her be at home. I'd rather my tax money go to her being at home teaching her one kid than her teaching a classroom of other people's kids. Because either way, your taxes are supporting her, right? right? So I'd rather her be at home. I would much rather that person be sitting at home teaching the one kid rather than a bunch of other people's kids all goddamn day, like year round, bro. That's a fucking nightmare, dude. Look at that lady. That's a fucking nightmare, dude. There's blessings in everything, folks. Just got to keep your mind open.
But now I'm not because I take care of my son. But I will be going back to work in about 6 months.
That's nice.
Yeah.
There
So
you
what do you
go.
got going on here? You guys selling merch?
Like, I will be going back to work in like 6 months.
I don't talk to alleged rapists.
What are you guys selling merch here?
I don't talk to alleged rapists.
Oh, you're not talking to one. It's okay.
You are an alleged rapist. Yeah.
I mean, that's true in the sense that, like, it's been alleged, but it's been alleged by a known liar. And there's proof that it's bullshit. So, you know, she's just taking low-hanging fruit and half selling it. You know what I mean? Like overselling it. You know what I mean? Like she picked the shit up off the ground and it's landed in dog shit. She wiped it off and is trying to sell it. You know what I mean? Like it's not a thing. You know, there's no truth to it. But somebody who's not credible alleged it, sure.
Yeah, I know the whole story. I heard every detail and it's disgusting.
So do you support child abuse or no?
I support the
You support a
family
child
of
abuser.
John O'Keefe.
Do you
I support the family of John O'Keefe.
Do you support the 2 children that Catherine Peter abused and
I
lost
don't know what you're talking about.
custody to the state?
I support John
Yeah,
O'Keefe.
it's. I guess it's easier to
And
look
I
the other
can't
way,
wait
right?
till you
Look
go to
the other way.
prison.
Oh, I won't be going. To
Oh,
prison.
you are.
That's okay.
And remember what I
If you
told
say
you.
so.
Look, mark
I
my
mean,
words. January. You don't even know.
It's like, dude, lady, have you read one of the Bederow letters? Just one of them. Doesn't matter. Like, take your pick. Pick one of the Bederow letters out of a fucking hat, dude.
Even know it's coming.
So where are the other blue people? Hello, miss. What's your name?
Hi.
Hi.
Where are
What's
the
your
other
name?
blue people?
I'm not going to give my name.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Where are the rest of the blue people?
We didn't really coordinate and try and
You
get.
didn't feel. They didn't feel like coming out today. It's not that important.
Yeah, most of our
Just
people
not
have
that-
jobs.
Not,
It's
have you
not
seen
that-
your
Not like
people?
the welfare line over there.
It's just not that important, dude. Like, I guess, right? You know, because see, Turtle Boy can say that with the utmost confidence because he has been this entire time consistently. Like, we're talking about rolling rallies that have taken place. We're talking about coordinated courthouse appearances. We're talking about everyone shows up. These people consistently show up for at least the past year. At least the past year. Consistently. Scott McGinnis, Dana, Tom CPU, Dina, Esty. All of these folks, bro. I mean, dude, this is fucking gold, bro. I think this is like one of TV's best interviews, dude. I'm not even trying to lie. This is fucking great.
Catherine Peter has a job? I didn't know that. Okay. So where is everybody then? Like, I mean, where's Jennifer McCabe? Where's her sisters who are out here?
Oh my
Where's
God.
Plevin? Nobody wants to come out today?
Yeah, where's Plevin, bro?
You guys kind of like lose your
I don't know.
steam a little bit.
We didn't
Wait.
really.
Is somebody talking to us?
Can I ask you something? Is
Wow.
justice for John O'Keefe weather dependent? It appeared because it got a little colder.
I'm here.
Dude, I feel like
The pink piece,
I feel like I'm looking at fucking some Benjamin Button fucking version of a middle schooler. Like Like some middle schooler that just fucking like looks fucking 90, dude.
The pink people are all here. There's probably like 50 or 60 people here, and there's two of you and that little thing, that grumpy little gentleman there. But yeah.
You're even uglier in person.
Have you seen?
Wow.
Have
you seen your face?
No. I've never seen you at one of these protests before. What made you decide to come out today for the first time?
I
support.
Kim Fair paid me.
that any family should have to walk into court getting booed and harassed.
Do you support
with food
the
stamps
McAlberts who murdered John O'Keefe?
Let's be real.
You know
I she's guilty.
Oh, of course the McAlberts murdered. Yes, Jennifer McCabe is completely guilty. I agree. So you agree?
Let's
Okay.
be real. You know she's guilty.
So what will
You're
you do?
grifting.
What
she's
will you
guilty.
do if and
know
when
she's
Jennifer
guilty.
McCabe is arrested or indicted by the FBI? What will you do?
You know.
Will you just pretend this never
You
happened?
know Karen Reed's guilty.
Will you just pretend this never happened?
I don't think that will ever happen.
But if it did, but if it does, what will you do?
I mean, I care about the truth and justice coming out. But
So if Jennifer McCabe is indicted, you will support Karen Reed after that, if she's indicted.
no, because she's encouraged the harassment of
The things,
many
that,
people.
the things that you have
but
said
Jen-
about
okay.
John's family in particular.
Will you
John's mother.
will you still support Jennifer McCabe if she's indicted?
I don't think that day will ever come.
But what if it does?
It will come.
But if it happens,
Real
will you
driveway.
support her
It's not
still?
even happening.
But if it does, would you support her if she was indicted?
It's not happening.
'Cause
So
I'm-
it's a moot point.
Well, because
No.
some have said that they would. Some have said that they would stick by her even if she was indicted.
Yeah, I mean,
Would
Like
you?
it's so scary.
That will ever happen.
It's
There's
so scary that she teaches children, dude.
no evidence. There's
But
nothing
if it did,
I'm not going to talk about hypotheticals that are just so unrealistic.
you can't say with
Like
conflicting.
if I was a parent of a child right now, dude, I would be fucking livid, man. Like all the time. My blood pressure would be fucking boiling, dude. Like, I don't know how y'all do it right now. This day and age, having kids, y'all are crazy. Dude, after everything that I've been through in my life, there is no fucking way that I would do what my father did, which is have kids in a second marriage or something. No fucking way with everything that I know about life, bro. And the way that the world is right now is just wild, dude. Like, that lady teaches fucking kids, dude. That lady teaches kids. That could be your kid. You know what I mean? I don't know how y'all do it, man. Kudos. Like, seriously. Because I just don't have, I don't have the patience for that shit, dude. Like, there's so much insanity, dude. Like, Elizabeth Warren posted something today, which is just like so fucking stupid. And I was just like, lady, you're so fucking dumb. Saying that government efficiency, because Elon Musk is in charge of government efficiency, and he got this other guy, I forget the guy's name. I was hoping it'd be Ron Paul, but I guess it's not. She's like, oh, real efficient. Off to a great start with the government efficiency team. It takes two people to do a one-man job. And I'm just like, well, no, man, it probably takes two people to clean up the fucking mess that your fucking that your administration left. You know, like, what are you talking about, dummy? Like, this is the kind of shit. These are the kind of people that are fucking teaching your kids, dude. This is fucking crazy. I would my fucking blood pressure would just go through the roof. I couldn't handle it. Tina Folga, thank you so much.
Conviction.
It's a silly question.
So you don't know. You don't know if you'd support her if she was indicted. You don't know.
I'm saying, like, I'm not going to talk about a hypothetical that I don't think would ever happen. I support
The family of
victim,
John O'Keefe. Yep.
family.
Yep.
And
So do we. We also support the
You
victims.
talk about his mother, and it's disgusting.
I don't know what he said. Excuse me? I don't even know what he said.
Somebody's coming in over
Is it
there.
the fam?
Okay, well, it was nice talking to you guys. We'll talk later, okay? Have a nice day.
You know, our 10-year-old loves you, and we are livid. Yeah. I gotta tell you guys, man, it panics me sometimes, man. You know, like if I hadn't met one of them, you know, and he was just a great kid, you know, if I hadn't met this kid, Vinny, then I'd probably feel a lot more apprehensive about it, because I'm just like, man, what are you letting your kids watch this show for, dude? Like, I mean, you know, I'm nobody to tell nobody how to parent, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what kind of I don't know what kind of shit you got going on in your house, man. That's not my business. Whatever. But you know, it's just I just don't hold back here, and I say some pretty nasty shit sometimes, man. And you know, just like, man, I don't think about kids watching me when I'm talking. You know what I mean? So it's yeah. Whatever, man. Y'all do you, man. It's all good. Dewey, thank you so much. Please don't lump teachers in with her. She is a para. The government speech for it's cheaper than actually supporting schools. Yeah, thank you so much. And Lori Larson, thank you for becoming a member. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over Microdot's newest video. Now, make sure you sub to Microdots. Now, here's what I want you all to do. You guys know how I like to do shit. My man Microdots is just the fucking dopest of the dope of video creators. And I need you to stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and the stop. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I need you to stop what you're doing and click on the link I just dropped in chat and like the video if you haven't already. Make sure to like it and make sure to subscribe to Microdots if you're not already. Microdots is a dear, dear friend of the channel, and I have the utmost respect for him and his talent and his passion. So I'm just going to give you guys a second to do that. I'm going to drop it in the chat one more time. All right. Now let's get started.
If he can use whatever means he has at his disposal to convict her, and he succeeds, that would vindicate him and harm the federal investigation of his office. On the other hand, if she's found not guilty, as we expect she will be, he knows that he and his office will remain in the crosshairs of the federal investigation.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. You guys are going to love this if you've never seen Microdots, but I can't imagine anybody in here who hasn't seen Microdots yet.
Let's begin with the hearing held on February 26, 2024. Just a few days earlier, federal officials turned over a tidal wave of information through the TUI process, which governs the production of federal documents in legal cases where the United States is not a party. This session is dedicated to scheduling, where they will set key dates leading up to the start of the trial. Enter one Assistant DA Laura McLaughlin. Renowned for her skill in remaining inconspicuous, she had also directly accused the defense team in recent court filings of entirely fabricating a relationship between Michael Proctor and the Albert family, essentially calling Reed's attorneys liars. Words she would soon be forced to eat. The hearing has just started, and a key Commonwealth figure is missing. She signals to an assistant. Go find Lally. We see the assistant quickly exit the courtroom.
We're on the record on Commonwealth vs. Karen Reed on docket 22 CR 117. Beginning with the prosecution, may the parties introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Laura McLaughlin.
You see, Laura rarely speaks. In fact, she almost never lifts her eyes from her laptop screen. Either she suffers from a gripping fear of public speaking, or she's attempting to minimize her role in the train wreck of a case against Karen Reed. However, on this occasion, we will be treated to some very interesting statements from Laura, but more on that later.
Good afternoon, Miss McLaughlin.
Miss McLaughlin looks back, hoping to see Lally, to no avail.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jackson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Elizabeth
As the defense make their introductions, we see Turtle Boy stand up and say something.
Little.
Good afternoon.
On behalf of Ms. Reed.
Attorney Elizabeth Little notices the disruption.
Good afternoon, Miss Little.
Aidan and girlfriend Meredith make their way towards the exit. You are witnessing the culmination of a plan by Aidan's detractors to weaponize the legal system against him. He was released from prison a few days prior, and they are determined to send him back, even if that involves setting him up. Their underhanded plan was to invite a woman from Aidan's past who allegedly colluded with corrupt officials to lure him to her apartment and then make false allegations against him. The prevention order she obtained requires Aidan to leave the premises.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Unetti.
Good afternoon, Mr. Unetti. Good afternoon, Miss Reed. Okay.
Allegedly, as Turtle Boy was exiting, Chris Albert commented to him, "Ain't that a bitch?" causing the guards to order him to quiet down. And look who's decided to join us.
Oh, all right. So here comes Mr. Lally. Were you expecting him, Miss McLaughlin? All right.
Dude, this voice that Richie uses for this man is just fucking awesome. Like, it's so good. It adds so much to this.
I'm sorry, I would not have stopped.
Apparently, they were
And the dynamic between the music and the accent and the tone in the voice is just fucking great.
They were able to locate Adam Lally. He rushes to his chair, being exactly 7 minutes late.
Like, it's perfect
He's been known
synergy.
to chain smoke cigarettes outside in the parking lot by his car and looking stressed.
It is.
Miss McLaughlin is
It is Ewan McGregor. That's a Ewan McGregor. Holy shit, I never put that together. That's totally a Ewan McGregor AI. It's perfect.
relieved and can relax, just for now.
All right, so Mr. Lally, if you just say your name for FTR.
Yeah, sure. I'm Lally for the Commonwealth. Good
All
afternoon.
right, good afternoon, Mr. Lally. Okay, so when we were all last in court on February 15th, there was obviously Mr. Lally, why don't you have a seat?
Besides the comical aspects of Adam Lally, in this moment he does seem genuinely out of
Sit down, Mr. Lally.
sorts, blurry-eyed and defeated. And there's a very good explanation for that. Just a few days earlier, the U.S. Attorney's Office had submitted 3,100 pages of evidence exculpating Karen Reed,
Oops.
which we now know to be absolutely devastating to the state's case. The Norfolk DA's office has been in full panic mode, feverishly reading those documents and evaluating the damage. But what exactly is Adam Lally's stake in all of this? He is paid $127,000 annually by the taxpayers of Massachusetts. He's taken an oath as a prosecutor to seek justice within the bounds of the law, not merely to convict. He has virtually zero experience prosecuting high-profile murder cases. Therefore, he must have been assigned to this case by Michael Morrisy for a different reason. It would seem rational to assume he was chosen for his willingness to take morally questionable actions when instructed, and his loyalty. Adding to the mystery is Morrisy's decision not to assign his top prosecutor to the case. Greg Connor, the chief trial counsel for the Norfolk DA's office, is the lead prosecutor on the county's most high-profile cases. He prosecuted Emmanuel Lopes for the murder of Weymouth police officer Michael Chesner and is currently handling the Brian Walsh case. It must have been surprising then, when the far less experienced Adam Lally was assigned to the Reed case instead. Although it would have made sense to assign an underskilled attorney who's willing to bend the rules. After all, Karen was fully expected to fold under the weight of serious murder charges. Also noteworthy is that the Vanity Fair article stated that Morrisy's in-house prosecutors have all refused to retry Reed's case for the second trial. That would include Greg Connor, who is presumably smart enough to not board a sinking ship. Lally undoubtedly saw this as a massive career opportunity. But what explains his willingness to participate in the false prosecution of an innocent woman long after he understood it was getting dangerous? Let's look at the situation from his perspective. Imagine taking part in an illegitimate prosecution. Your boss, the most powerful man in the county, needs this taken care of and says it will be cut and dry. Everything is fine for a while, but then the girl is putting up a fight, causing you to plan illicit actions, slow walk evidence, and lie in court.
I have eyes on the side door.
13 months into the scheme, you learn that the FBI has been watching your office as part of an ongoing investigation for these very crimes.
Lally just exited the building.
You are hearing credible claims that your phone has been wiretapped.
I love this shit.
I'm 2 cars behind him.
A wave of terror runs through you as you wonder just how much the feds have uncovered. Weighing your options, one unsettling reality becomes clear. There is no walking away from this. You're already deep into the crime and now can only double down again and again in an attempt to save yourself.
Dude, this is like...
Only he knows his exact level of criminal exposure. But judging by everything we've witnessed over the past year, he seems quite concerned for the future. We can only assume that every decision he's made as lead prosecutor has been under intense scrutiny by the FBI.
Guaranteed.
Welcome to the nightmare. If anyone has exposure to corruption charges related to the prosecution of this case, it's Adam C. Lally.
Through 2 years of litigation.
If Adam Lally has watched that video, he as Deadpool would say, he better have been wearing his brown pants. Like he captured that fear, that dread, that Adam Lally, like he captured that dread that you see weighing down his shoulders when he walks by you. He was the best way that I could describe my impression of Adam Lally in person, sitting in that courtroom, was overwhelmingly unimpressive. Not just unimpressive, overwhelmingly unimpressive. And I don't know how to explain that. But you can sense a feeling of absolute dread looming over him the entire trial. And you could feel it off of him when you're in the courtroom. This is a fact. He walked right by me several times. And I was like, just like, dude. So yeah, what Microdots just did there in his own artistic fashion was recreate that feeling that I felt looking at Adam Lally in person. He just absolutely did that. It's crazy. The dude's an artist.
Alan Jackson explains to the judge that more time will be needed to review the FBI evidence and incorporate it into their case.
With the Commonwealth, just about 2 years of litigation. We've received a little over 3,200 pages of data. In one day, the defense was given 3,100 pages of data, and none of it appears to be duplicative. All of it is brand new, and all of it, Your Honor, appears to us to be exculpatory.
We can look back now with the benefit of hindsight and determine that Jackson's characterization of the federal documents was accurate. Throughout the trial, the defense presented shocking new information harvested from those materials, further discrediting the Commonwealth and crippling their already fledgling case. Jackson goes on to discuss the drastic impact those materials will have on their trial preparations. And he is clearly excited to have this powerful new evidence.
But based on what we've gotten so far over the last 48 business hours or so,
I'm sorry, guys.
There's going to be additional Rule 17 motions, significant additional Rule
I had to
17
do it.
motions. There's going to be additional Rule 14 motions. We're going to have to supplement the motion for disqualification Mr. Unetti just alluded to. We're going to need to supplement the motion to dismiss, which I'm alluding to. We will be filing a motion for extraordinary governmental misconduct based on certain evidence that we just received.
This is the expression of a woman being vindicated after being put through hell by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. She knew exactly what was provided by the U.S. Attorney and would be forgiven for believing it would lead to her freedom in short order. But this is the Honorable Judge Canonis Court, where justice bends and warps, skewed in the direction of Michael Morrisy's office, where the presumption is guilty and every tie goes to the Commonwealth. Nothing illustrates this mind-numbing distortion of truth better than what Laura McLaughlin says next.
Wow.
The opportunity to go through all the discovery that's been provided. It is
Dude, that was the creepiest shit right there. I gotta play that one more time.
Next.
Look at that shit, dude.
the opportunity to go through all the
Wow.
discovery that's been provided.
Microdot is an artist, dude.
There's a lot of material there. However, the Commonwealth would dispute counsel's representation that the material is new information. I would say approximately 90% to 95% of the material that we received is consistent with the Commonwealth's theory of the case and the testimony that went to the grand jury of witnesses' statements. There is some new information that counsel will use in their motion, and the Commonwealth understands that. However, I would say the evidence as a whole is very consistent with prior statements made by witnesses that testified for the Commonwealth.
Let that sink in as we consider the implications. Laura has the audacity to misrepresent the discovery materials. After reading all of Trooper Proctor's text messages, just handed over by the FBI.
You literally said that you hoped that Karen Reed, the subject of your investigation, the woman sitting to my left, about 7 feet from me, that she would just die. Those are your words, right? All the powers that be want answers ASAP. Trooper Proctor, Karen Reed, in your investigation, had quickly become a very serious problem for you, hadn't she? Your life would be much easier if Karen Reed was just dead. This case involves a Boston cop whose family you're actually connected to. Julia, Chris out, Colin out, Kevin out. She's a bitch.
Yes.
A whack job, correct?
Wow.
Yes.
A retard, right?
Yes.
A balloon knot release, right?
Yes.
No ass, correct?
Yes.
She's right?
Yes.
Ass me. That was one of the figure speech, right?
Microdots has a way of making you feel uncomfortable, but you don't want it to stop. You're like glued to the discomfort because it's like medicine that you seem to need. It's amazing what this dude does with these videos, dude.
Correct.
A girl who shits herself and then fuck her. And Trooper Proctor, it would be far easier for you to pin it on the girl who's just a whack job cunt, in your words, who you hope just kills herself, right?
No, hey, listen. Love for burners. I'm gonna say this, and I'm, because I've tried to make it a point already, but I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm done. I'm not interested in anything that Sean has to say. So I'm not going to stream them. I'm just simply not interested. We're a moving train. He's a car that got off, got disconnected, and derailed. This train has to keep moving. I don't care if he gets views or not. You know, if you guys feel so compelled, no judgment from me, you know, to watch it, but I'm not going to snipe him just to steal views from him. I'm not going to do that. But I appreciate the super chat. And I hope that you don't think that I'm being rude here. I just want to be as direct and clear about that as I can be. I respect everyone here's opinions and how they choose to handle, however they choose to handle their feelings on this. That's none of my business. But I'm choosing to just simply move on. Ernie Birdie, thank you so much. Thank you for playing the Microdots video. Love sharing this with y'all. Right on. Right on. Thank you so much. Yeah, and Turtle Boy's going live tonight. You know, like I'd rather just watch him anyway because he was inside the courtroom today and he's going to have a lot of insightful things to talk about, you know? So listen, if you'd rather hate watch somebody than watch the person who is responsible for, you know, providing you with all this information, you know, I can't really relate to you if I'm being honest with you. I'd rather watch Turtle Boy and just, you know, that's again moving forward there. And if Turtle Boy decides to talk about him, that's on him too, you know. That's his prerogative as well.
Now we have benefit of some hindsight, and that's the federal investigation. We have been saying since September 16th, 2022, in lengthy motions that we filed before this court and filed with the Commonwealth, there is a conflict. You're not investigating the conflict. That conflict was never described to the grand jurors. Newly uncovered text messages, but from the feds, revealed that on January 19th, 2022, think about that date, that's 10 days before the incident. January 19th, 2022, Michael Proctor texted his own family members discussing the specifics of having Julie Albert babysit for his toddler child. We should all let that sink in for a second.
So, yeah, I understand that.
Judge Cannoni interjects, with what sounds like an involuntary reaction to Jackson's searing argument, but caught herself.
There is a level of closeness that cannot be overstated. Michael Proctor is so connected to the Alberts that he was entrusting them, or willing to entrust the Alberts, to be caregivers for his toddler child. For 2 years, the Commonwealth has been denying it and still denies it in their opposition paperwork. They still say, well, there's nothing to see here. It's Michael Proctor's sister who really is friends with Julie Albert, and that, that's not a big deal. Everybody looked the other way. Ms. McLaughlin wrote the following in her opposition. Trooper Proctor's supposed close and personal relationship with the Alberts is, quote, entirely unfounded and a desperate creation of the defense, a desperate creation of ours. She says we created this. But now we have the benefit of the federal investigation. And the Commonwealth finds itself in that very unenviable position of having to eat some very distasteful words, because we didn't create anything.
Any other judge would be utterly shocked by what she's just heard, for the first time receiving full confirmation that the lead investigator has been hiding his relationship with the Alberts, and the Commonwealth has been lying about it in court. Instead, she's already formulating ways to excuse the misconduct. Cannoni's behavior is particularly baffling given that she began her career as a public defender, fighting for clients being charged with serious crimes. Why isn't she angry that this has taken place in her courtroom and infuriated that a defendant's rights have been violated on her watch?
So now we have the lead investigator from Massachusetts State Police literally discussing the exchange of gifts between the Albert family on the one hand and the Proctor family on the other hand as a thank you, their words, for helping the Alberts out of a jam. And if you looked up quid pro quo in the dictionary, you would find this set of text messages. Any one of these examples, and I didn't touch on all of them, but any one of these examples, the gift giving, the babysitting, the telephone exchange.
You got to love Karen's confidence. You know, you got to just love that. Because she knows she didn't do this. She knows all of the evidence. She's an intelligent person. She's seen all of the evidence. She knows what's going on here, and she's being fucking railroaded. And right now, this is a moment that at that time she was looking forward to. She couldn't wait. She knew that day that Alan Jackson was going to present this to the court. And she was totally confident. She's not sitting there with the look on her face like she's hoping that it goes over well. She knows that it's proof. She knows that the Proctors and the McCabe's are friends, practically family, the McAlberts and the Proctors. And you look at everything Proctor's done here. I mean, it's really just that simple.
One of these examples, and I didn't touch on all of them, but any one of these examples, the gift giving, the babysitting, the telephone extraction, the Google search at 2:27 in the morning, all of these, any one of these would be enough to dismiss the charges as they sit here today.
Right.
But the cumulative effect of this deception and all of it, this distortion in front of the grand jury, is too much for the court to ignore. The simple fact, Your Honor, is the presentation before by the Commonwealth before the grand jury in the state court action, it just wasn't fair. That's the easiest way to say it. It just didn't give Miss Reed a fair shot. It just didn't. That presentation was packed with lies, known lies by the investigators, and the omissions and the manipulations and deceit by the very people that are supposed to be the ones that we in the community can trust. The ones that are supposed to protect our interests. And the law does not allow this sort of conduct to go unchecked.
Oh, thank you.
When the remedy, when this sort of travesty of justice occurs, is established by this state's Supreme Judicial Court, and that is dismissal of the indictment in its entirety.
The district attorney's office is not accustomed to a criminal defendant fighting back in the way we have prior to trial. What usually happens when the prosecution brings charges is they detail the allegations at an arraignment in court, and as a result, their narrative and theory of the case becomes widely reported, while the defendant and the defense team remain relatively quiet. After arraignment, moreover, the media typically lose interest and wait until a trial or potential resolution of the case before they start reporting on the case again. And in this way, the district attorney's office is quite accustomed to always controlling the narrative in pending cases, at least until the defense makes an opening statement at trial. And as long as the prosecution gets to control the narrative,
oh yeah,
press,
for sure, Lala.
they have no
Thank
problem
you.
With what's being
I agree.
reported. But of course, this case has been different. Their control of the narrative did not last very long here. In our view, it became clear very early on in this case that their narrative was wrong. Their theory of the case was wrong. Their allegations did not fit with the evidence that we fought so hard and for so long to get access to over 2 long years. Never in over 30 years of practice have I ever witnessed an elected DA so blatantly violate the rules of professional responsibility. It pains me to have to file a motion like this. But DA Morrisy, through his poor and unethical decision-making, to release a video statement designed to prejudice potential jurors against my client, has forced my hand. So the question then becomes, why did he do this? Why did he take such a personal interest in this case, such that he would take the unprecedented, and that's his word, unprecedented step of vouching for Commonwealth witnesses? Why would he take the unprecedented step of denigrating the defense theory to potential jurors, the unprecedented step of announcing to the public that Karen Reed is guilty. Why would he trample over the presumption of innocence and announce that we're trying to reassign the guilt that he's already assigned to her? Well, on December 4th of 2023, we began to learn why.
The first letter is dated May 9th. It's from the Norfolk DA's office to the U.S. Attorney's office in Boston. At the time, the DA's office knew that 2 people connected to the Karen Reed case had received subpoenas for a federal grand jury. The DA's office essentially wants to know what it's all about and reminds the U.S. Attorney's office it needs to share its findings if those findings impact the state prosecution of Reed.
The DA, in a desperate attempt to learn what the feds had uncovered, requested information under the guise of fulfilling his duty to disclose evidence to the defense. But as we learned later, he never even mentioned the existence of a federal investigation. This was after Turtleboy broke the story. Morrisy knew that if the public learned he was under investigation, it would be like throwing gasoline onto a roaring fire.
The second letter, just about a week later, and we've reported on this one before. It's from DA Michael Morrisy to the Department of Justice's Office of Professional Responsibility in Washington. Morrisy requests that the federal investigation be moved out of Massachusetts, citing conflicts. He reveals that acting U.S. Attorney Josh Levy contacted the DA's office weeks earlier to say the feds were conducting an investigation that may involve a number of witnesses in the Karen Reed case. DA Morrisy tells the feds there is no evidence of corruption, and he accuses former U.S. Attorney Rachel Rollins of weaponizing the United States Attorney's Office to conduct an unprecedented intervention into an open state murder case. That takes us to June 12th. Acting U.S. Attorney Josh Levy tells the Norfolk DA's office that the feds have no issue with the DA's office telling Karen Reed's legal team about their communication. Levy says, "We will be back in touch with you as circumstances dictate." And in August, that office told the Norfolk DA it was essential to continue their investigation given what they knew. And they denied the request for a recusal, saying acting U.S. Attorney Josh Levy has a, quote, very different opinion of the circumstances in this case than as presented in Mr. Morrisy's letter.
That correspondence revealed that federal authorities were investigating this case. And it's worth noting they only released those to us once Fox 25 had succeeded in a public records request, and they knew what they had kept hidden was going to be revealed. And once we got those letters, we learned why they wanted them hidden. We learned that in May of 2023, the DA's office knew there was a federal investigation. They did not reveal that knowledge to the defense. In fact, on June 12th of 2023, the acting U.S. attorney specifically told the DA's office they could reveal the existence of this federal investigation to us, but they didn't. They kept it secret. And then worse, Your Honor, on December 4th of 2023, the district attorney's office provided a false notice of discovery to this court and to the defense. In that notice of discovery, they claimed they had received no confirmation that any witnesses had testified before a federal grand jury. We now know that was
a lie. Norfolk DA Michael Morrisy had known that they were under federal investigation since May of 2023, and then 7 months later, on December 4th, lied to the court in an official notice of discovery. This is crucial, as it serves as irrefutable evidence of their active attempts to hide the truth. They are willing to lie to this court, and the court, in turn, is willing to look the other way. It's hard to imagine that the DA would take such risks without assurances that nothing would happen when this violation inevitably came to light.
That's a great point.
Michael Morrisy.
That's a great point. Mike Erdot's just made a great point, saying that it's hard to believe that, because when you're trying to make sense of it, I mean, it's great. Like, what have we been saying? But what have I been saying? This went completely over my head. I have to admit it. For the last year, been sitting here scratching our heads going, why do these people think, why are they blatantly thinking? Hell, I even asked Alan Jackson this when I met him. I said, why? They're just blatantly doing these things without any fear of consequence. Why is that? And Alan Jackson's answer to me was just power. It's power, you know, and they just get reckless with it. But the thing is there's no consequence. They do it without fear of consequence. But the strange part about it is It's strange that they do it without fear of consequence, but it's even stranger that there is no consequence. Right? So while we're sitting here scratching our heads trying to make sense of this, Occam's razor, the simplest solutions, right under your nose. Right under your nose. We've been sitting here talking about how Beverly Cannoni, we believe her to be corrupt. Right? I mean, the only thing that makes sense as to why Michael Morrisy, and this is the point Microdots is making, the only thing that makes sense as to why Michael Morrisy would take the chances that he does without fear of consequences, because he knows there's not going to be any consequence. And why does he know that there's not going to be any consequence? That's the question.
Morrisy's unprecedented statement becomes far clearer when considered alongside the FBI investigation. As David Yannetti alludes, it's evident that the DA was attempting to get ahead of the scandal before it reached the public eye.
A lie. We know it's a lie because 7 months earlier, DA Morrisy wrote that multiple state witnesses had received subpoenas. We know that was a lie because now that we've got the information from the feds, Nicole Albert testified before a federal grand jury that she participated in a group conference call with Jennifer McCabe, Matt McCabe, Brian Albert, ADA Lally, and victim witness advocate Stephen Nelson, a group conference call before she testified before the federal grand jury in July of 2023.
What would be the reason for Lally to prepare witnesses for a federal grand jury? It raises suspicion as well as concerns of undue influence in cross-jurisdictional conflicts.
Right. He's prepping witnesses for a grand jury testimony. That's gotta be unethical. That's gotta be unethical.
His only instruction should have been tell the truth, and that lying to the U.S. attorney is tantamount to hanging yourself.
We also know it was a lie because he wrote in his letter, and I quote, "We have confirmed that witnesses testified before the federal grand jury." Yet 7 months later, the DA's office tells this court that it had received no confirmation. That is outrageous. We are outraged that he lied to us. This court should be outraged that DA Morrisy lied to you. He also wrote that the head of the public.
I love how he got into the mic to say, this is an outrage. This court should be outraged. Like, he wanted to make sure. Like, he looked Bev in the eye as he leaned into the mic and said that. The cerebral ninja, dude. Okay? All bow to the cerebral ninja. David Yannetti. Boston Defender.
Julie out.
Oh, shit.
Chris out. Chris out. Colin out. Kevin out.
Jennifer McCabe, Matt McCabe.
Should have been.
We are outraged that he lied to us. This court should be outraged that DA Morrisy lied to you. He also wrote that the head of the public corruption unit at the U.S. Attorney's Office may be personally retaliating against him and targeting him because his wife was unhappy with the way the Norfolk DA treated her. He wrote, in short, that he knew, felt, and believed that he and his office were being targeted.
The Karen Reed movement has in the past been accused of believing a conspiracy theory. It's hard to express exactly how satisfying it is to witness the district attorney himself reduced to the ramblings of a tinfoil hat-wearing Illuminati conspiracist. Make no mistake, the DA's wild assertions that federal officials are out to get him are as unhinged as anything you can find on a 4chan message board.
Now, why is that important? It's important because of the immense power that a prosecutor has. It is important because we need an unbiased prosecutor with no vested interest in a case to try to administer justice based on the evidence and not based on any personal interest in a case. The prosecutor has more control over life, liberty, and reputation than any other person in America. His discretion is tremendous. The prosecutor can order arrests, present cases to a grand jury in a secret session, and on the basis of his one-sided presentation of facts can cause the citizen to be indicted and held for trial.
Wow.
While the prosecutor at his best is one of the most beneficial forces in our society, when he acts with malice or other base motives, he's one of the worst. In his own words, DA Morrisy revealed he has an interest in this case that goes beyond the interests of justice. He revealed that he knew that his office was being unfairly targeted and investigated.
David Yannetti goes on to state the central thesis of this presentation.
He has a personal interest in getting Karen Read convicted. If he can use whatever means he has at his disposal to convict her, and he succeeds, that would vindicate him and harm the federal investigation of his office. On the other hand, if she's found not guilty, as we expect she will be, he knows that he and his office will remain in the crosshairs of the federal investigation. DA Morrisy has an interest in this case not to do justice, but to win. That's why he hid his knowledge of the federal investigation for 7 months. That's why he slow-walked discovery. That's why he gave a lengthy video statement saying Karen Read is guilty. That's why he talked about our theory being a desperate attempt to reassign guilt. And perhaps that's why, in contravention of Judge Krupp's preservation order, DA Morrisy's office gave the go-ahead to Brian Albert and Brian Higgins to destroy or dispose of their phones. We only learned that because the federal authorities revealed that in their investigation.
Wow.
I'm just about ready to end. The DA also, as my colleague has indicated, I'm sorry, the FBI has confirmed.
Look at Nathan
Jennifer McCabe
and Bill.
Googled, how long to die in the cold at 2:27 in the morning. But what has not yet been mentioned is that 5 minutes before that, Brian Higgins and Brian Albert were calling each other at 2:22 in the morning on January 29th after previously testifying they were both asleep at that time. There was a lot of suspicious activity in the early morning hours of January involving the witnesses that Morrisy improperly announced to the public were telling the truth.
Wow.
We're getting to the bottom of it, and the truth will come out. But as we continue to defend her, Your Honor, like any criminal defendant, my client deserves a neutral, impartial prosecutor interested solely in justice, with no vested outcome in this case. And it's crystal clear we do not have that in Michael Morrisy. That is why he should be disqualified from this case. And that is why I urge you to do just that in the interest of impartial justice.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Even with the new evidence provided by the federal government, the motion for disqualification of the Norfolk County District Attorney was denied by Judge Beverly Cannoni 2 weeks later, stating, contrary to the defendant's assertions, nothing before the court suggests that the DA has an interest in the outcome of the prosecution other than the interest of justice, never addressing the lies told by the Commonwealth. At this point, it was starting to feel like the strength of the defense's arguments simply didn't matter, as if guarantees were made, or at least implied, that Karen Read would face a jury regardless of circumstances.
The information that was disclosed to you folks from the U.S. Attorney's Office. So I read it. I see now how the federal investigation began and when it began.
Imagine such an experienced judge like Beverly Cannoni, who has worked in the Massachusetts legal system for decades, reading the FBI documents and getting a clear understanding of the suspicious activity of the Commonwealth.
Bro, like her face just says no sex. Like, it's just, there's no joy whatsoever in that woman's life. You can just see it on her face, dude. No joy whatsoever. Just fucking straight vodka out of a plastic cup and reruns of Lost. Awful.
Wealth witnesses, then continuing to pretend this case has any legitimacy.
Every bit of discovery that the federal government has from the state case was provided by Mr. Yannetti. Nothing was asked for from the Commonwealth. Nothing was asked for from the district attorney's office, the state police, I have no idea what they have seen or what they haven't seen, how much of the file, how much of the discovery or anything else. And this goes back to November of 2022.
The federal government had no interest in communicating with Morrisy's office regarding this matter.
Yeah, we're gonna go over
which
that.
indicates that investigators
Thank you.
discovered
Graham
something
Jackie.
damaging early on in their investigation, where they no longer trusted any Norfolk officials. They have godlike access to evidence that we will never see, and they know Karen did not commit this crime. Therefore, anyone suggesting she's guilty is doing so from an ill-informed position of pure and willful ignorance, if not self-preservation. Karen's guilt or innocence is no longer in question.
Right.
What needs to be asked now is how far will a powerful man go to save himself, and how long before he's apprehended for his crimes. They were perfectly content when the Norfolk DA's office, the Massachusetts State Police, and the Albert family controlled the narrative, each vouching for the others, reinforcing their shared version of events. Then something miraculous happened. With only her close friends and family by her side, she had the bravery to stand up to the machine, climbing back from hell, out from the grave they had dug for her. And with the help of a fearless journalist, inspired the multitudes to stand with her.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jerry Gray. Yeah, I'm gonna let this play because I want to, give the credits to who Microdots wanted to show. I'm not sure. I think they agreed on the 9th. We're gonna discuss that in a second. All right. So let me show you guys this real quick. This is cute. um Okay, no, hold on. I know I was tagged in this. I'm just trying to find where it says it, where it is. Oh my God. I guess I could just do this. Is it here? Yeah, here we go. Okay. All right. So this is the reaction. Joe Flipperhead put together a little compilation of all the reactions of the creators you see on the screen here, myself being one of them, to Bev saying to Alan Jackson if he could just catch a red eye. And it's pretty great.
You could take a lot of people take a red eye, right? And you come out then.
I do every time.
Look at Karen Reed's reaction.
Mr. Jackson.
Look at Karen Reed's reaction. She looks back at her mom and she looks back at her family right there. Like, dude, can you fucking believe? Can you fucking believe?
Every time.
Well,
Mr. Jackson, you don't have a private jet. I'm teasing. What do you mean you can't time travel, Mr. Jackson? What? Aren't you?
Emily Baker's awesome.
A lot of people take a red eye, right? And you come out.
Wow. Wow.
You can't fly out in the night, the evening of the night. Fully booked that Monday and Tuesday.
Bev is an asshole, dude.
You could take a lot of people take a red eye, right? And you come out then.
I do every time.
Look at Brandy Churchwell, dude. Oh, Debbie, thank you so much for the Venmo. It was great to catch your 2 lives today. A nice bonus to see the Microdots video. Yes, thank you so much. And make sure to subscribe to Microdots. His link is pinned in the chat.
You can't fly out in the night, the evening of the night.
There's no way. I can't.
Yeah,
Ed gives 2 shits about AJ's prior commitments. You could take a
Right. Brandy Churchwell said Bev gives 2 shits about AJ's prior commitments.
prior commitments. You could take a red eye, can't
Did you say the 12th? Where it ends at what time?
Oh, please.
You could take a lot of people take a red eye, right? And you come out then.
Look at Attorney Melody Little's face, bro. Like, oh my God, bro. Like, right? Awesome timing, too, because that's right when Karen Reed looks back at her family like, yo, did y'all motherfuckers just hear this shit right here? You heard this lady right now? It's fantastic.
You can take a red eye, Mr. Jackson. A lot of people take a red eye, Mr. Jackson. You could take a red eye. That's the way we do things here in Massachusetts. It's a privilege for you to be here, Mr. Jackson. It's a privilege for me to even let you be here, bro. I'm BJ.
Look, and Karen Reed is just smiling from ear to ear, like, yo, dude, lady. Now, I wonder, and this is just very loose speculation, right? But I wonder if Karen Reed is smiling that confidently because she's looking right at Judge Bev, smiling right after she looked at her family like, yo, what? And she's looking right at Judge Bev, smiling, right? So Judge Bev, like, I'm wondering, again, this is very loose speculation, but I've been wondering if Karen Reed and her camp know something about the federal investigation that's not public. Okay? I wonder. And if that's the case, like, I hope that that's the reason why Karen Reed was smiling at Judge Bev so confidently, like not giving a fuck. It's like, at this point, it's like, we know that you're a dirty asshole. That's what it comes off like. It comes off like Jackson, Yannetti, Little, and Karen Reed just know at this point and don't give a fuck. Like now it's like whatever. And I wonder if it's because they know something. You know? Because otherwise, wouldn't you be now? Maybe not, because I don't want to minimize Karen Reed's, moxie. I don't want to minimize her I don't want to minimize her courage, her confidence in just true justice, because that could just be it too. Is she just doesn't mind. She has that much faith in truth and justice that she could look the dirty ass judge in the face and be like, dude, lady, are you serious right now? You just said that shit to my lawyer? Really? Because I have to think. So if it's something other than that simple explanation, then I hope that it is that they know something about the federal investigation and Judge Bev. It's just TikTok. It's just a TikTok situation.
Are you kidding me already? Already with this? Oh, yes, she did, Crystal.
You can't fly out in the night.
I want to watch that again. That was great.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You can take a lot of people take a red eye, right? Can you come out then?
I do every time.
Well, court closed.
Mr. Jackson, you don't have a private I'm teasing. What do you mean you can't time travel, Mr. Jackson? What?
Oh my God. Thank you, Cynthia.
Take a lot of people take
Wow.
I do every time.
Wow.
You can't fly out in the night, the evening of the night.
You can't fly out in the night?
Monday and Tuesday.
That was an asshole, dude.
You can take a lot of people take a red eye, right?
Sure is, Will.
Can you come out then?
I do every time.
I agree with you completely, Will.
You can't fly out in the night, the evening of the night.
There's no way. I can't.
Bev gives two shits about AJ's
life,
prior commitments.
Right.
You could take a red eye, can't
Did you say the 12th? It ends at what time?
Oh, please.
You can take a lot of people take a red eye, right? Can you come out then?
You can take a red eye, Mr. Jackson. A lot of people take a red eye, Mr. Jackson. You could take a red eye. That's the way we do things here in Massachusetts. It's a privilege for you to be here, Mr. Jackson. It's a privilege for me to even let you be here, Pro Agvice. Are you kidding me already? Already with this? Oh, yes, she did, Crystal.
You can't fly out in the night.
You can't fly out in the night? Wow. What an asshole. She's terrible. Jesus.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. 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 I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
Lana, thank you so much. Bev's miserable voice infuriates me. She drives me fucking insane. Thank you. The 2 lives in one day. God bless you, Will. Well, God bless you too. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing, bro. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Turtle Boy's gonna go live in 10 minutes, y'all. Make sure to go check that out. Yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I'm real tired. Thanks for hanging out with me. I had a really good time, dude. Like, I really, I knew I was going to go over these things, but I didn't, really didn't expect a whole lot of people to hang out, man. But you guys, wow, that was great. This turned out way better than I expected it to. Because man, I was tired. I'm still tired, but now I'm gonna find a movie to watch, and hopefully I'll last through it and then fall asleep, and then I'll wake up early and start my next productive day. So thank you guys for helping me out with that. Oh man, Joseph Kane, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. So yeah, thank you guys, man. Lots of great support. I really appreciate it. And the new subscribers, man, it's fantastic. And please hit the like. And a big shout out to my mods, man. I have an awesome team of mods. They're the best mods, probably the best mods of all time, the best mods in history, really. Just amazing mods. No mods have ever been better than the mods that I have, and there will never ever be mods, frankly, as good as these mods. Yeah, man, you guys are amazing. I love you guys very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.